It's me and Clayton. I'm making him be my model for today. I'm gonna go over, excuse my kids if they come over, they're crazy. But I'm gonna go over today how to clean up your husband's neckline. Because I know a lot of us, being that we're stuck at home, can't go to your salon or your barber to get your hair cut. A lot of people I'm seeing are just opting to shave their head. Don't do it if you can avoid it, because hopefully soon we'll be back open, hopefully. But until then, here's how you can clean up your hairline. These trimmers I got at Sally's Beauty Supply like years ago. I use my good ones at the salon, but at home, sorry babe, but at home we get the cheap stuff because I'm not spending a bunch of money on it when it's really just going to be cleaning it up around the hairline. So Walgreens has kits that you can get for really cheap that have like this with a couple of guards that you can use if you're wanting to like trim up their beard or even kind of cleaning up a little bit more kind of right through here. So if you need those, like I said, Walgreens has a bunch of them. I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible. I'm definitely not going to be getting into like the whole haircut because I'm really hoping that everyone kind of can hold out for their stylist if they can. And that's just a little bit too much to show you. We went to school for a long time to learn how to do that. So, okay. So I'm going to show you, bear with me while I'm trying to do this without a swivel chair. But you can see how his hairline definitely needs to be trimmed up. Let's see. You've got hairline through here. And then around his ear is what I'm going to be showing you. So, and if you can't see or if you have questions, please feel free to type out and I'll try and answer as best I can. Again, sorry, my kids are in the background. The most important thing to do first is go through and comb all of this down. Comb all of this down so that way you can actually get a really clean line right through here. I'm using just a regular wide tooth comb. You can also, usually in those kits, it comes with a comb for you to be able to use. So you don't have to have like a special comb or anything. I usually like to start right through here. Now this spot, if your husband has a beard, you're gonna wanna not create like a harsh line right there because then there's gonna be a space between his hairline and his beard. So if you, my husband usually shaves this down. We're in quarantine fashion right now. So usually I will create a line and that's where you'll ask your husband, you know, do you want it to be up through here? Even with like the bottom part of his ear? Do you want it to be mid-ear or bottom of the ear, depending on their hair? Most guys that I cut at home typically like to have it about mid-ear. So definitely ask your husband before you go through and do this. Typically, I feel like it's older men that like to have their hair even with their ear. So, but you don't want like 70s chops either. So what I would do is just ask him where exactly he likes it. I see a lot more people are joining, so that's good. But I'm going to do it right to the middle of his ear. And this is just where I like to start. You can start wherever you feel like you want to after you see the video. But you're going to hold the trimmers, and they won't hurt if you touch them. So it's okay. You're not going to cut him or anything. But I like to go through and just kind of create like a nice clean line right through there. Again, you're going to brush the hair down to make sure that you don't have any like random hair sticking out. Now, when you go over his ear, what I like to do is use the corner of my trimmers. Don't use the full flat side because if you do, you're going to end up giving him what we call white walls. And you're going to see all of this hair right through here. So by using the tip in the corner, it's a lot easier to control and not go too high. So yeah, Clayton's my guinea pig. And the kids are about to go crazy. So one thing is I will brush the hair down and then I kind of just tap right there on the top of the ear. So now I have like this one small section to work with. You definitely want to make sure that when you're cutting over the ear, especially if you're not experienced, that you don't take too much of a section. Work with small sections so that way if you mess up, it's just a small section, not a huge section. So again, I'm using the tip of my trimmers and I'm just kind of like barely outlining where his ear is. Can y'all see that? Okay, so I've worked on that section. You see how now that part's not hanging over his ear. So what I like to do now, and what I would suggest doing, is just hitting the top of his ear. Just hitting the top of his ear right there. Comb it down. You see you've got a little bit more. Let's see. I'll zoom in a little bit. See how you've got a little bit more hanging on top of his ear? Just keep brushing the hair down and go on his ear until you get all the rest of that little bit of hair. Once you move to the top, then start brushing this kind of forward onto the ear. And again, this isn't gonna hurt him because the trimmers, the way the blade is, it's not gonna hurt him. If you've got an old pair that needs to be like oiled, it might actually hurt him, but it won't for right now. So now you can see, now that I'm brushing it all down, you can see there's nothing on his ear. It looks a lot better. Once he goes through and he shaves this, at least from the side view, it looks a lot better. Now in the salon, I would be a little bit more precise with everything, but for right now at home, this is kind of all you really need to do. I do need to teach the kids to be the cameraman, but they're in the background dancing around like crazy people. So, okay, so now I want to show you, let's see, let me lower this a little bit. Is that a better view for everyone? I think so. So now you can kind of see like how his hairline right through here needs to be shaped up. You've got this spot, you've got over here. It's all kind of like looking pretty shaggy right there. So, what I'm doing now is I'm gonna brush all the hair straight down. And again, really the trick with this is just to keep the outline that he has. If he's already got a really nice outline, don't go through and trying to create a new outline, because once you start cutting up into the hairline, that's when you start bringing his hairline up and it starts looking like you did it at home. And even though right now that's pretty much what everyone's doing, you don't want him to look like that. So that's why I suggest kind of brush all the hair down. And this is the part that it's okay for you to use the full width of the trimmers. And you're literally just going to outline. If you feel like you're not cutting a whole lot of hair, that's okay, that's good, because you don't want to go through and cut too much into the shape. If there's a random hair in the back, can y'all see that hair right there? I'm gonna go through, use the corner of my trimmers, and I'm just gonna lightly outline. That's it. Can y'all see how I'm barely getting in? I'm not going in through his actual hair. A lot of guys get a lot of hair growth on their necks, or if their hairline goes back a little bit more. What I would suggest doing is taking, and you can use a towel. Right now, I'm lucky enough I have a cape, but you can use a towel around their hairline just until you get in the salon. But make sure that you kind of take it and tuck it into their shirt, like roll it into their shirt, so that way they don't get a whole lot of hair down their back. That's helpful. So you can see I haven't gone into his hairline a whole lot. Just keep brushing it down. If their hair goes further down, you just take the trimmers. Oops, here, I'll go on this side so you guys can see better. Just take the trimmers and just go down with it. His hairline doesn't really go down, but some do. And I usually like to go where the t-shirt line is. So if you see where his t-shirt is, I don't go, I always, when I'm trimming, I always make sure that I go past the t-shirt line. So that way, when he's wearing a regular t-shirt, you can't see the hair. Okay. So again, I'm just going through. I'm not getting too much into the hairline. Remove this as I move. Brushing the hair down. Again, please don't go too much into the overall shape of his hair. That would be bad. And again, I'm just doing kind of the same thing that I was in the back. I'm just barely going in. And now he's got a much better, cleaner line throughout there. So now I'm gonna go back through and do the side here. Let me switch places with you guys. Try not to get his face on here because I know he's like, he doesn't want to be here. Right, babe? Mm-hmm. You love me. Okay. So, now I can't really see the camera from this angle, but I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see. But again, we're gonna go halfway right through here. And then I'm going to comb everything straight down. I'm going to use the corners. The corner of my trimmers. I'm definitely not going to go through and use the full one because then you'll give him what we call white walls and you don't want that. He'll be mad at you. And you just kind of go through little section at a time. Don't try and get too confident and do too much in one fell swoop. Comb the hair directly on the ear and just pat the top of the ear. Now, if your husband's or your kid's hair is a little bit shorter and it's not quite long enough for it to lay on top of the ear, you're going to do the same thing. Except you're going to go through and instead of touching the top of his ears are really pliable. So you can actually just bend it right forward. It doesn't hurt. So just take one finger and fold the ear down and then outline right through there. Let me show you. Ooh, this is hard. Fold the ear and then you're just going to outline his hairline through there. But Clayton's hair is longer, so he doesn't really have to, I don't have to worry about that. As far as beard trims go, usually your guys will be better at that than we are. So I had a couple of people asking about that, but honestly, unless they actually have like a full grown like beard, I don't mess with it. For him, he likes to keep more of like the kind of goatee look. And so sometimes I'll outline it for him, but he's better at it than I am because he knows where he likes it. Beards are like men's contour. So he's going to probably end up shaving that anyways. But now that you can see he's much cleaner around his hairline. That's kind of like a nice, quick, simple, easy way to keep their hair looking somewhat professional, especially if they're having to be on conference calls and stuff too. You know, they want to feel like they're put together. So that's pretty much all I have. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or private message me, share the video. Hold out for your hairstylist, guys. We're all suffering and we really, we don't want you to go through and shave your head or color your own hair at home. Don't do that. Because that'll make us very, very sad. So that was it. It was nice, quick, and easy. It's something that you guys can do at home. You can do it on your kids if they'll still stay still long enough. But that's about it. So thank you guys. I'll see y'all later.